Well, it goes back to when I was very young, 14 years old. And it first started out when I was very young with my brothers listening to the radio at the breakfast table.
To the radio?
Yeah, the radio.
50s?
Yes, and I remember my brother Michael, he's with God now. He said, you know what that is? And I said, what's that? And it was, there is a rose in Spanish Harlem. He says, and then another Drifter song would come on. And he said, you know what that is? I said, what's that? He said, that's the sound of Spanish Harlem. And I'll never forget that. And it always stuck with me. So I've always had a little bit of that Spanish thing that I've always been very attracted to, is the emotion, the text. There's things you can sing in Spanish you could not sing in English. Now I try to get the most out of it, you have to turn it backwards, you know. But it was the emotion in the music. It was the emotion. I had to escape a town that I was born in, which is a factory town called Stanford. Now it's changed now. It's a little bit kind of yuppie, but at the time, my grandmother worked in the factories, my mother worked in the factory. She was also a telephone operator. My father was a carpenter. So where does a 14-year-old boy run to when he gets in trouble in school, this kind of stuff? Well, I split. I left. Me and a friend of mine, we both left for Greenwich Village. What have I learned from this? What have I I don't really have too much like high esteem, you know. I think I just learned how to survive, just survival. This is the jungle. This is the concrete jungle, okay? And it's better to be the little guy than the big tiger. The tiger is very noticeable, but when you're a monkey in the tree, nobody sees you. Then I got into a life of petty crime, you know, in dealing with bad things, doing bad things, stealing apartments, things in apartments, anything you got. What do you got? You got everything from television sets, radios, you got furniture, you have antiques. But we wouldn't get very much money. We got enough just to, you know, get by. It was pretty good. We were very good at it. You know, we were very small. I was very, very thin. I could slip through the window. My friend took care of the security, you know. So if I saw somebody in a beautiful suit, and I could not afford this, I could not afford a beautiful guitar, and I wanted these things so bad. You're hungry. You're young and you're hungry and you want these things. It's natural. Then I got an old Stella guitar, and it was so far from the neck, I couldn't push the strings down. So I got a bottle, and I broke the bottle here. Okay, I broke it off, and it was like, you know, crooked, and I stuck my finger in there, and I learned to go. The first guitar I bought for, and this is, we're going back to 1975, and I didn't have very much money. I had $13. So I looked in the newspaper and I saw this guitar for $13, and it was ugly. It was orange. So I said, what can I do with this? It's so goddamn ugly. Ugh. So I was in a secondhand clothes shop, and I saw this shirt that was like fake leopard skin. So I figured, well, if the band is Mink DeVille, and Bo Diddley had a mink guitar, square guitar that was mink covered, well, then Willy DeVille should have a leopard skin guitar. So I took this fake leopard material and very carefully glued this on. And this was the first that anybody saw that leopard stuff.